As Billy Soul said in his infamous line from Predator, "We're all gonna die." Fortunately for us, it's probably not going to be at the hands of an alien hunting us down one by one. Unfortunately, we are our own worst enemy. Mankind is either going to bring about his own demise, or we're going to make the changes necessary to prevent us from becoming a long-forgotten memory in this planet's current sixth mass extinction. When we plant non-native plants or we allow invasive plant species to flourish here in Pennsylvania, we're actually destroying the habitats for the wildlife that belongs here. According to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's website for the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources at www.dcnr.state.pa.us, native plants actually help protect watersheds. They protect the natural beauty and resources of a state. What is a native plant, you might ask? It's any plant that was living here in this state before European settlers came over here. Native plants increase the biodiversity of an area. Biodiversity, schmiodiversity, who cares, right? Well, actually, we should all care. According to bringingnaturehome.net, biodiversity losses are a clear indication that our own life support systems are failing. The ecosystems that support us need biodiversity. They provide oxygen and clean water. They create topsoil out of rock and buffer against extreme weather events like droughts and floods, and they recycle the mountains of garbage that we produce every single day. People can't live as the only species on this planet. We need plants and animals to survive. Without them, there is no us. An important fact to remember is that an area required to sustain biodiversity is pretty much the same amount of area required to generate it. The consequence of this simple relationship is profound. Since we've taken 95% of the United States from nature, we can expect to lose 95% of plants and animals because of it. 95% of plants and animals. That is a staggering statistic. But imagine restoring Pennsylvania to its former natural beauty. The long-term benefits are increased biodiversity, which also increases our chances of survival on this planet. I haven't brought you all together to be Ms. Doom and Gloom. Instead, I bring you a message of hope. Fortunately, evolution doesn't take place overnight. There is time. We can make changes. We can work together. There's many things we can do collectively and individually. The solution is simple. Plant native plants. Don't plant non-native plants, and don't allow invasive species to flourish in your area. When you plant your gardens, only use native plants. There's beautiful plants like these ferns. The cinnamon fern. Something like the pink mountain laurel. If you prefer flowers, the pink turtlehead. And look, it attracts pollinators like hummingbirds. You could plant something in honor of our state, the state tree, the eastern hemlock with its cute little tiny pine cones. Or my favorite, a perennial flower called the monkey flower. Wonder why it's called the monkey flower. Things you want to avoid planting, and you might be surprised. English ivy. This is an invasive species. It is beautiful, but it doesn't help our environment or our ecosystem. The Canada thistle. Again, so pretty, but it doesn't belong in our area. Here's the surprise. The Norway maple. A lot of people have it because it's insect resistant, but insect resistance is one of those clear signs that it's bad for our ecosystem. Last but not least is the kudzu. It looks so cool, drapes over trees and telephone poles, has beautiful flowers, but it's an invasive species and it won't allow the native plants in the area to thrive. Saving the environment might feel like a daunting task, but we can do it together. What I'm asking you to do is volunteer time with me, with Friends of the Allentown Parks. This past year, I worked with them. We planted perennial trees, perennial shrubs along the riparian barrier, And what that does is it prevents flooding of Broadway and North Cedar Crest Boulevard. And every year for the past 6 years, they've participated in the National Public Lands Day, where what they do is they plant perennials throughout the area to help increase the biodiversity using only native plants. If you can't join us this weekend, what I'm asking you to do is inform your friends and your neighbors and your family. Now that you know more about invasive species, share that knowledge. Save the plants. Save the planet.